RC fans, race fans, sim fans, Racing 393. So the first prep after my meeting, my first meeting at the BRCA, is I'm just going to tidy up the tyres that are on the car. Now, I was told, interesting fact, that maybe I was listening to how people, you know, how they prep their tyres and the diameter of which they turn their, I'm talking about the rear tyres now, how they turn their rear tyres down, not how, but what they turn their rear tyres down to. It's very much a personal preference that fits in line with your rollout settings and the type of tyre you're using. They do wear. Mine didn't wear that much, so I wasn't going quick enough, but they were still taking off chunks of the, you know, the tyre as it was going round. It wasn't a much. When the fast guys were coming off, the inside of their shells were covered in foam rubber. So that's purely down to me not going quick enough. However, my car got hit many times. I think I hit the wall myself sideways, and not that many times, more frontward, but it wouldn't steer, but like round the corner. But down the straight, I did a couple of times. I did hit it, but it wasn't that often. More often than not, I got hit because I was probably in the way a little bit, not knowing where to go, but trying to keep out of the way. But anyway, I'm going to move the camera. So this is my tyre machine. You can see there that it's probably knackered. I mean, I was told it is knackered. I, on the other hand, will not waste things. I'll take it down to the nth degree. I know that I can probably, from my best, the best I could be, and then you go and use these tyres, I've no doubt that they would hamper. I get it, but until I get up to a certain level where I'm happy, I'm going to still use these tyres until I physically can't use them. The fronts are very thin, but there's still meat on the bone here. So I'm going to take these down a little bit. I'm just going to skim them and then try and tidy up the edges. I might have to use some, like, to get around the other side. I might have to, I don't know if the edge the other side actually. Do you need to actually fade that edge? Well, I don't think you do, because it's irrelevant. It's into the car, isn't it? It doesn't matter. That could be square. For some reason, this needs to be chamfered. The only reason I can think that is, I don't know. A race tyre is chamfered anyway. It's not square, so I'm guessing there's a more technical reason. So I'm going to turn these down. Not sure what they are at the moment. I will measure them in a minute and then tell you how much I've taken off. Alright, so I've tidied up the tyre. I'll show you it close up in a minute. When I put it on here, as it came off the track, that rear tyre, that was the outside rear, the left, I should say. Depends if it's around the track you're going, isn't it? So when you look at the car, the left, it was 43.06 millimetres. I took a couple of measurements on it around because it was, you know, you don't want to push too hard on the calipers because it can give you a false reading. I then just skimmed it a couple of times through, and it's now down to 41.19. I've also just chamfered the edge ever so slightly. So let me show you a close up. You can probably compare it to what it was like. If I think of it, I'll put a before and after picture. I've only chamfered the wheel side, the outside of the wheel. I didn't chamfer the inside. If you think I should chamfer that, let me know. In my head, my engineering head, it would be better. But in my practical head, I'm not so sure. So that's that tyre done. 41.19. I'm going to try and get the other one down as close to that as possible. You can see the rubber that comes off. It's horrible. And it smokes as well. Maybe it shouldn't smoke, so maybe I'm taking too much off. But, yeah, anyway, I'm quite happy with that. There's not much more left on that, I must admit. So next time out could be the last time out, and most people would probably think change it a long time ago. I, on the other hand, I'm going to try it out. I've got to try something that will reduce, well, that's going to change my rollout, which I will work out later on. Anyway, let me try the other tyre and I'll be back. So I've done the other tyre. On the car, it was the right-hand side tyre. So this one, before I turned it down, was 42.88 millimeters. The other tyre, just a comparison, was 43.06. So there's a bit of a difference. Not too bad though, but yeah, still a bit of a difference. So I turned the other tyre, I'll just remind you, I turned it just down to 41.19, and I've just turned this one down 41.09. So I'm going to leave them there. I'm not going to go much further. To be honest with you, the other tyre was more chafed on the edge, and I've turned this one down a little bit. I've gone into the wheel and the tyre, and it's more chipped, but I'm going to leave it as it is. So I'm going to reassemble these back on. Then the front tyres just want a very light skim. So bear with. So the front tyre's on. I measured that one. It's a kind of coned effect. It could be my work here, or it could be even things like toe in or toe out. But I think when I did these before, they had a slight cone effect. So they kind of went from this part here and they coned out. I'm not sure why that is. It might be this machine, me, or something I'm doing wrong. But in the average circumference on there is 40.3. I think it's about like 40.25 here, and then at the back it's like 40.4. So there's quite a big difference between that and that. I don't know, because the tyre flexes, well, the wheel flexes. So I'm just literally going to skim it and just do the edge here. Literally, I'm not going to take much off it at all, and the other side. If I can get it down to like 40, that'll be fine, or even maybe even 39, but I'm not too worried. I just want to skim it, see what I end up with. So the front tyre, left front tyre is done. That'll go back on the left. It was a bit of a coned effect. I think it still is coned. Not sure how I can not cone them. It does vary from sort of this side to this side, but it's fairly equal. I think the front edge might be a little bit thinner, but I've sort of averaged it out across there a little bit, 40.17 now. This bit here I think is like 39.99, and it's about 40.19 here. There's probably still too much coning, but it is what it is. I've actually chamfered the edge off here as well. So that's the left front tyre. I'm going to do the other side now. Okay, so I might have inadvertently said the left or right front mixed up there in my sort of last bit. But anyway, that there is this one here is the right front. So just to recap, it started off at an average of 40.38. It sort of differed between the cone part, and it's sort of an average now. It does go a little bit lower on the front here, but 40.22. It's actually a bit lower here, so it's more like in the teens. That's the right front. The left front was 40.3 on average, and I took it down to an average of 40.17. Again, it went below 40 about here, and probably 40.2 here. So it's as the difference and the sort of the average between the two front tyres is minimal. So I'm going to keep those tyres on. I'll put these back on, and that'll be that. So that's the end of my prep for my next meeting. I thought I'd just keep you in the loop, and I'll try and keep things a bit organised on the channel regarding this. If people want to see it and the views go up, I'll keep doing it. But if the views drop off, I'll reconsider that. But I'm trying to keep my progress and my journey through the LMP12 indoor carpet racing hobby. Hopefully you'll see me improve throughout time. I'm not going to do all the maintenance and film it all, but I think I will. The more I learn and understand, I will try and pass on to everybody else. So anyway, that's it for now. That's my tyre prep for my next Eastbourne meeting, which I think, don't quote me on this, but I believe it's around the 19th of February. It's a Sunday, it's only a club meeting. I have booked in. The last time I looked, which was yesterday, I'm the only one booked in, so I'm guessing there'll be a few there. That suits me fine. I'm going to pay my £12. I'm a non-member, just to use it as track time and practice. So I'll update the car as I go on. We've got a bit more to do to it before then. I hope you enjoy that video, and I'll see you next time. Please like, subscribe, hit the notifications, and any feedback, as usual, give me your thoughts, what works, give me an overview and what you think. Thank you very much, and goodbye for now.